So fast. Hello. Hold on. Hello. Hello. Can you hear me? Hello. Hello. Am I?
Hello?
Oh no. Sorry. Wrong PC. One moment. I reconnect. Okay.
Okay.
Oh my gosh! I did it again. Okay. All right. Now
Alright.
it's the correct thing. Sorry. I
Okay.
automatically joined on the laptop and I have to join on the desktop.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, hello. Hello, chat.
Hello. Oh, you're breaking up a bit.
Yeah, I was just, oh, alright. Is it better now?
Yeah. Yeah. Have you just
Um,
discovered me as a person,
my,
as a creator? Now you're roboting out. Are you? I'm not sure if
hold
it's my
on. Oh,
fault
wait, I
or.
am still lagging. Oh, no. Ah, that might be my, hold on, let me try something.
I
Hold
always
on, give
assume
me a sec.
it's. I always assume it's my fault, but. What?
It might be fixed now. I don't know. I mean, I am on mobile right now because I just woke up. But you said you disagree with utilitarianism.
Oh no! I said
Just
that I
explain,
have like
why?
a criticism of it. I guess it's like
Okay, you
a
have
chunk,
criticism. Okay,
like a how should I say, like a scratch on the armor, like a chink. That could be like
mhm.
an argument. I guess that comes to mind.
Yeah. Yeah, so you brought up
I'm not broadly against it. I'm
the
not just
notion of
like rejecting it as a, if that makes sense.
yeah. So you brought up like trans rights as an example of something that you believe um would be like something that would um be sort of like what was it you said specifically? I don't want to misrepresent you.
Like I said that if you want to maximize the happiness of the majority, then what if the happiness of the majority includes misery of the minority? And I use the trans
Yeah,
people as
so
an.
misery is something that ought to be minimized, right? And it's not just like maximizing happiness for the greatest number. That's like an oversimplification, right?
Right.
It is also the case that like that the magnitude of the happiness or the suffering is taken into account, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if it's the case that, say, for instance, um, like trans people greatly suffer to the supposed benefit of the majority,
Right.
right? But what really is their benefit? I guess they're like briefly happy that trans people don't exist. I mean, to
Yeah,
be fair, let's be
because
real, our
there's the,
existence doesn't really
yeah,
affect them.
like there's
Like our
the,
existence.
let's say for the sake of argument that a lot of people feel disgusted by our existence, and their lack of disgust makes them happy.
Yeah, it's going to be the case that whatever disgust that they have would be more likely to be overcome if they just, I don't know, got used to trans people, right? So that'd be like the most obvious solution that benefits the greatest number of people to the greatest extent, including trans people, right? So it would take into account the fact that like there is like a utility maximizing solution there, right?
Yeah.
So the standard I use for whether or not something is immoral is does it cause any objective or measurable harm? If
Mm-hmm.
it's the case that you have trans people existing, our existence doesn't really seem to cause any objective or measurable harm.
No, I
Other
think
people
so.
might do things in response that cause harm, but that would be them doing an immoral action, not us.
Right. Well, I guess that's that when it comes to that argument. I'm not really
Mhm.
super, married.
Well versed in ethics.
Hmm?
I assume you're not like super well versed in like ethics or anything like
Not
that.
in the theoretical field now.
Yeah. That's like I mean, I'm not like an expert or anything. I've just done some like goofy internet debates, but so there's like a lot of debate nerds that are like super autistic about it. I'm actually one of the less autistic ones, if you can believe that,
Yeah,
which is impressive. That means you have to be more autistic than me. Yours truly.
it's true.
It's like an accomplishment.
Have you discovered me just today? Just now?
Yeah,
Just
you showed up in my recommended.
really? So what do you think so
Yeah.
far? If you think anything.
I saw part of your debate. What was it about? Well, I saw part of a couple debates. I saw part of one that you had with Wick about works. I can't. I don't really
D&D?
have any disagreements with you there. I thought Wick's position was really stupid. Like, I'm sorry, what? Like when you say intrinsically evil, like what are you talking about? Like what does it mean?
Right.
Like is it the case that they're born and they're just like automatically evil,
Yes,
or is it,
basically.
or would they be evil on the basis of their actions? In which case they wouldn't be intrinsically evil.
Yeah.
or are they like or do they just like not have free will? In which case, like they
I
are
mean,
compelled
I
to do acts
guess
against
I
their
think
will.
that's the argument since he kept going back to that they were created by an evil god thing, which which I've been given a few good arguments after the fact. One is that the whole god thing is basically mythology within the setting, so it's not treated as fact.
Yeah, well, it's gonna be the case that like it's gonna be the case that if you I don't know, let's say you let's say there's like the Christian God. Now I'm not a Christian, right? But like
Right.
I'm not sure what Wick believes in that regard. But like I think you would agree that like according to the Christianity canon, okay, the biblical canon, as I
Yeah.
like to call it, God would be like considered all good, right? But it's not going to be the case that human beings are intrinsically good, right? So by that
Right.
logic, whether or not a God is good or evil does not automatically dictate whether or not their creation is intrinsically good or evil, right?
Right. Yeah. And also there's the fact that when you because orcs are a playable race, and
Yeah.
Wick asked at some point if the whole alignment thing is there's an alignment restriction and there's not. You can choose any alignment, so that alone actually defeats the whole argument.
Yeah.
But yes, what other debate did you see?
I saw part of the one about what was it? It was like
Oh yeah, also because
conscription.
someone asked who you are, could you introduce yourself to my nice audience?
Yeah, so I'm Femios. I do live streams, and I try to stream every day, I guess. I talk about a lot of stuff. I talk about politics. Sometimes we do commentary drama slop, okay? Sometimes we just like cover random shit. We make fun of like weird right-wing lolcows. I do a lot of just chatting, lots of schizo posting. Yeah, there's like a lot of stuff I do.
Do you cover
Um,
Ukraine? Do you have in your bio that you're an ambassador to Ukraine?
that's actually an inside joke. So basically, this person called Aiden Projects
Yeah.
was doing a live stream and wanted me to call in, and I was just like ignoring him. And
Right.
then he was like, "What is Femius doing that's so important that they can't call in? What are they, the fucking ambassador to Ukraine?" And then
Oh.
I'm like, "Yes, yes, I am the ambassador to Ukraine.
Oh.
That's why I can't call in."
So I take it you don't cover really topics related to the
No,
war. You
no,
just
I would consider myself to be pro Ukraine though.
I do that. I visit
Because
Ukraine
it's the
fairly frequently
yeah.
to
I
do
mean,
interviews.
being pro Ukraine is literally just like the freedom maximizing position.
Yeah.
I think it's like absurd that there are people that try to defend Russia. It's like okay, so like let me get this straight. Like you're against Western imperialism, but if Russia does imperialism, then now it's like justifiable. Now you start sweeping. It's like okay, all right, yep.
Yeah, because they see it as creating the multipolar world order or something like that.
Yeah, which is stupid. Like it's imperialism. I don't
Yeah,
care.
I
It's
know.
bad. Like I'm sorry, but like you said that imperialism's bad, right?
Yes.
But now you've changed it to imperialism for me, but not for thee,
Yeah, we
which
people
is
of the
stupid.
region have a bit of experience with Russian imperialism historically and contemporarily as well.
Yeah.
So what other
What are your
debate
thoughts?
did you see? Sorry?
Oh yeah. The other one, yeah. So I saw the one about conscription,
Oh,
or part
with
of it.
the person from India.
Yeah.
So what did you think of that one?
You were definitely winning. You were no diffing him. It's very obvious. I don't really know enough about
Dissing him?
the subject matter. No diffing him, meaning like you basically fucking destroyed him. That was basically
Oh,
what that means.
okay.
Yeah, just like on the basis of argumentation. Like he wasn't a very good debater. I don't know enough about the subject matter to really have like a full on debate though about it, just because it's not
Like
really something I've ever
whether or not it
researched.
should be considered this or that is another subject, but then the real crux of that person's argument is Ukraine should not be getting aid. So
Yeah, which is a dumb position. Like
yeah,
I can understand like if the argument was like simply yeah, I think that I don't know, being forced to serve in the military is immoral. That'd be like a much
yeah,
easier
that's a
like
different
whether or not it's
conversation though. But then I would say that
um,
the immorality of that is sort of overshadowed by the fact that it prevents things like Bucha, Irpin, or Izium from happening.
yeah, I think it depends on the context, but
You
I
know,
don't know. I don't know enough
the
about the
pretend
position to
like the what I mean is preventing Russia from just having free reign to commit atrocities within Ukraine on the
correct.
civilian population. and
Correct.
kidnapping
In which case, I
children.
would argue that yeah. In which case, I would argue that utility would be maximized. Like if you have like if you're like fighting against it,
Yeah.
because you're because like long term you'd be maximizing well-being,
In the
right?
end of the day,
I
you
think that
are.
generally speaking,
Yeah.
I think that generally speaking, that I'd be against conscription, except for in cases and where like in which it's like a defensive position that you're in, right?
Yeah.
Which
Because
Ukraine is just like defending itself.
yeah, you're
Um,
basically
whereas
restricting
yeah,
temporarily certain freedoms of people in order to, well, not allow the much worse atrocities to happen, and they are
correct,
happening.
correct. No, I agree with you. Like whereas with like the Vietnam War, right? Like I'd be
Mm-hmm.
against the draft there. I was just like completely immoral to force people to fight there because like you're not like in a defensive position at all, right?
Right. The different incomparable situations. It's like when
Correct.
people try to compare the war in Ukraine and with Iraq, which is also completely incomparable in my mind. But well, people
Yeah,
try. Have you seen my debates with Loner Box?
I have not. I don't really watch loner bucks.
I've
I
debated.
don't watch most. I don't watch most political streamers just
Who
because I
who
don't
do
know.
who do you watch from political streamers?
Nobody anymore. Maybe like I'll occasionally watch somebody like I'll occasionally watch something from Destiny. I haven't in a few months. Occasionally I might watch a Vosh video, but not anymore because
Mm-hmm.
his content sucks now.
Oh,
Hassan I never really watched. So it's like out
any
of
of
like the
the
big
any
three, I
of
don't
the
really
any of the smaller political creators?
well, the ones that I like don't really upload very often for the most part.
So what? Yep.
Do you know who Bunk Politics is?
No.
Okay. What about Synth? Do you know who Synth is?
Since I've heard the name, but I'm not sure right
Okay.
now.
Okay.
It does sound familiar. Since.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, those are yeah, so Bunk, Synth, those are people I'm friends with.
Huh.
They don't really upload very much though. They're like very good debaters.
What was your impression of me from the debates that you've seen as a
I thought you did
creator?
pretty good. I
Yeah.
thought you made your case pretty well.
Usually my debates just turn into friendly conversations.
Yeah. No, that's
Really
fair.
blood sporty, debatey. Even the Wick one wasn't really a blood sporty debate. It was more of a conversation, if anything, about the orcs.
Yeah, for
Especially
me I engage in
when,
some of
yeah,
each. Like depending on like whether or not the debate opponent is good faith or not, really.
right.
Like if they're bad faith then I'll
I feel like
engage in both
the
words.
conscription person was not necessarily all that good faith, to be honest.
I just think they didn't know what the fuck they were talking about. What I would have done is I would have just like I guess my main advice to you would be
Mm-hmm.
to talk about specifically the fact that okay, so you have you have this, right? You have this case scenario in which Ukraine is doing this in order to defend itself, right?
Yeah,
This is actually the freedom maximizing position on the basis of the alternative. If they
yeah.
don't do this, is Russia removes their freedom, right? So it would be like a net loss if they weren't to
I
do
think
it,
I'd
right?
go.
So
I
like
think.
generally, it's going to be the case that like sort of like what I described, where it's if it's like a defensive position, then it's like a necessity, right?
I feel like I'm simplifying the person a bit, but I feel like I've gotten a glimpse into their mind, and I think that their reply to that would be, "Yeah, but conscription is slavery, and I don't care about the alternative. Slavery is bad."
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Which is like a really stupid argument, right? Like slavery by what definition, right? Like can you define slavery?
Do you want me to
Is what I would
define
ask
slavery
him.
now?
No, I'm not
Oh,
asking you. I'm just like saying that's what I would respond with.
right.
And I would ask him to define slavery, right?
Yeah.
And then I would pick apart the definition.
I
I
mean, we
assume you would.
did talk about the
Yeah.
definition. We read from many of their sources as well, and their source disagreed with them because at the end of the day, as much as limited, you have sort of limit, like the freedoms of soldiers are limited. At the end of the day, soldiers are, no matter how you slice it, they're not property of the state in the same sense as
Yeah.
slaves are.
Yeah. Definitionally, they literally couldn't be. So yeah. No, I agree with your position there.
So you know,
What are your thoughts on I don't know veganism?
veganism. I mean, I
Hmm.
think it's fine to be vegan. I just think that
Okay.
uh, the advocacy is very aggressive, and
Yeah. Sometimes. I think that yeah,
it can
a
be
lot of
a
the
very
advocacy
bit
is
like
ineffective.
blaming individual people for not changing their lifestyle completely.
No, I get that. I would argue like rather than like blaming somebody, I would say it is morally preferable to be vegan.
Right.
Do you disagree with that?
Well, I mean, it depends on a person. Preferable. I mean, it depends on what you mean by preferable. It depends on a
Mm,
person's, I guess,
yeah,
even
yeah, yeah, yeah.
economical
So
situation. Sometimes people, it's not as simple for people to go vegan.
so it's gonna be the case that like let's say you have like you would agree that like the way animals are treated in like factory farms is
Yes, yes. I
immoral,
think
correct?
that's, yeah,
Of course.
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, so if it's the case that you're buying products from there, you are necessarily increasing supply and demand, right?
Yeah.
Meaning that to an extent you would be maximizing animal suffering. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, to an extent, yeah.
Okay.
If
And you would agree
I,
that it's immoral to maximize animal suffering, right?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So then you would agree with the position, right? You would agree with like
Yeah,
the like
yeah, I would
the
not
ethical defense
disagree
of
that it's,
veganism.
yeah.
Yeah. That's
But I
all it
also
really
think
is,
it's
boils
not
down to for the
that,
most part.
it's not simple to just change your entire lifestyle, you know?
No, it's not simple. So you would have to like do like a some sort of
Like we have many,
utilitarian
yeah.
calculation to determine like okay, so like
Like
does like the inconvenience aspect of it to my life
I feel
and
like
like having to like change my
it's not
diet
always even
supersede
inconvenience.
animal suffering.
Sometimes it's access even to products.
Access?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not too like because like I understand like changing your
I
diet
mean, like
sucks.
access
I'm like
to a
really autistic.
diet that would really sort of give you a healthy equivalent to. If that
Oh
makes
yeah, there
sense.
are healthy equivalents. That's
Yeah,
like
yeah, they are, but I feel like not everybody
they're not that
has equal
expensive.
access to that.
Um, no, like some of the cheapest food is vegan, right? Like beans and rice, right? Like that'd be like pretty cheap.
Yeah, but
But that'd be
I
vegan,
feel like
right?
people would, if people just lived on rice and beans, they would not be they would feel like their um, happiness would decrease. If that
Yeah, their
makes
happiness
sense.
would decrease, but so would animal suffering, right?
Yeah,
So that'd be like the utilitarian calculation.
yeah.
Mm. So like, do you think that like, I don't know, having less enjoyment, with like the meals that you eat, is like a greater level of suffering than the level of suffering that
Well,
animals experience in
like
factory
it
farms?
depends on a person's situation in life. If a
It
person's like,
depends,
yeah, it like
really.
if a person like I'm talking on an individual level. If a person works day and night and their only pleasure in life, for example, is having that one meal or something like that, because
Um,
other than that, they live a pretty sad existence of day in day out from morning to dusk, hard work to survive, and oh, my only joy is being able to have this one delicious
yeah, but
meal.
you have
Then
to
I
isolate the
guess,
variables, right? So it could be the
right?
case that you really enjoy eating certain foods, right?
Yeah,
And that you would
as a treat or
not enjoy
something.
eating other foods, right?
Yeah,
So it still goes back, right, to does the does whatever they lose by like not eating animal products, is that like a greater level of suffering than what animals experience in factory farms? That was the original question I asked you, right?
yeah,
It's
true,
either going to
but
be the case that like that like the answer is yes or no, right?
yes,
Like
but
even in that case
I'm
scenario,
not, even because we're going into the individual versus systemic, right? In this case,
yeah, like I would argue that there should be
like I
like
think there should be
systemic
a
changes.
crackdown on the animal, uh,
I
the
agree with that, right?
industry.
I agree. Um, I like I 100% agree with that. Like I don't necessarily blame the consumer for the animal industry being the way that it is. But those positions aren't mutually exclusive by any means.
Yeah, of course, but
Um,
it's, as I said, not always as easy to do for an individual.
like
I feel
I
like there are
understand
many
it's like
positions that would be great to do in theory, like if we save money and eat healthily, and it sort of goes
no,
into
that would
this
just be great to do
territory.
in practice, right? That'd be like something
Oh
good
yeah,
to
of
do in
course,
practice.
all of these things would be great to do in practice, but
Hmm.
you
Yeah, that's
know,
what I'm saying. It's like it's good to do in practice. That
like
doesn't
yeah,
mean that I like expect you to like go vegan tomorrow or some shit, right?
yeah,
Like I still eat animal products. Now, part of the problem for me is like I'm like an autistically picky eater. Like
right.
when I go to a restaurant, I order chicken tendies off the kids menu. So
Oh,
it's like I'm a
nice.
painfully picky eater.
You're
But so
from the
like I get it.
U.S., right?
Correct.
Oh, is it okay to ask what part of the U.S.?
I'd rather not disclose that.
Oh, okay. Not even a state or a general
No,
direction, east west?
I'd say Midwest.
Okay. I think that's vague enough.
Yeah,
I'm from Poland,
yeah.
the biggest Polish trans streamer.
Let's go.
Yes,
Yeah.
because I'm
Is it true?
probably the only Polish political streamer that's
Is it
trans.
true that in Poland everybody is a femboy? Is that true?
Well, no,
Do you have
I'm
a
not trans. I'm a
disproportionate
trans
amount?
woman, so I already sort of break that mold.
Well, true. I meant like people that aren't trans women or just like women in general. Like
No,
what with men? Are they
not
like
everybody.
femboys? Not everybody. What about like
I'm not sure how that started. I don't actually encounter many femboys in real life, which would be nice. What is
yeah, that
true
would be
that
nice.
Poland's the worst country on LGBT in entirety of Europe.
That sucks.
Yeah. It beats all the countries. It beats Hungary. I think only places like Russia, Belarus, sort of like that are worse. But that's not a,
That's not a high bar.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
no.
Poland. I'm not sure if it still has them. I'll have to look it up. But when Law and Justice, the old government was in charge, Poland had those LGBT ideology-free zone cities.
Oh God, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I remember hearing about that. And I'm like, that's fucking crazy. That's
Oh
insane. Like you're
yeah.
just like,
Yeah. And dude,
if you go to that, like I hope that the people that go to the LGBT free zones get shot. That's unironically my position.
like I remember the European Union said we're gonna withhold funds from those cities because that's bad, and the Law and Justice Party that was in charge at the time said, you know what, discriminatory cities, we're gonna give you double the amount that the European Union withholds from you because what the European Union is doing is discrimination against you.
What?
Yeah.
That's such a stupid argument.
And to add salt to injury, they took that money from a fund that was prepared for victims of abuse.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So Poland.
I mean, it's literally evil. Like it's like
Yeah.
textbook cartoon villain.
Yeah. Poland is still to this day, from all the metrics that I've been checking lately, the worst country on LGBT.
Damn, that's.
I thought sort of that Ukraine would be worse, but no, Poland is worse than Ukraine.
Do you at least have access to things like HRT or no?
Yeah, I do have access to HRT.
Okay, that's
Technically
good.
speaking, like I have no access to shots, but if I go to the Czech Republic, then my doctor would agree to prescribe me shots if I would be able to go to.
Do you
the
just
Czech
like take
Republic.
the pills?
Yeah, I take pills. I can show them on screen on the stream. I take this, like Estrofem. It's like this little thing,
Mm-hmm.
and a blocker.
Estradiol?
Oh, Estrofem.
I'm not familiar.
That's the name of the. I can show you the package. See? Do you see it on the camera? Estrofem.
Let me go back on the stream.
Like this.
Hold on, your stream's a little bit behind. Let me look.
Yeah, I'm holding it up to the camera.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Zoom in.
And then I take Androcur as the blocker.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar.
Androcur.
Okay, I just take estradiol, I take spironolactone, and I take progesterone.
Yeah, we don't. And I also sometimes when the person prescribes it to me, take this medication that destroys production of testosterone. Additionally,
That's good.
that's like 1/2 of a pill per week. I'm supposed to take. And also, in addition to the Estrofem, for some time, I also had gel prescribed additionally.
Oh, so you have like a really convoluted system there.
Yeah, I guess I just take my blood results from time to time, and the doctor's like, oh, based on this, we change this or that to the doses or the things that you take. Like the biggest fears are blood clots forming or stuff like that.
I'm gonna read chat real quick. There's a few chat messages. Is this the one who says, I'm Femios and I'm here to debate you? Yes. Synth is the name, the trait lady. And animal agriculture is a systemic problem. Your personal dietary choices will never have a real effect on it. No. You'd be decreasing supply and demand, right? So you'd be decreasing animal suffering, right? Because in order to decrease supply, they would have to create more animals that suffer, right?
Yeah, but
that would
sort of require you to assume that a lot of individuals would spontaneously make that decision.
No, like even as like one individual, you'd be decreasing animal suffering, right? Just as like a single individual.
Well, I'm not sure if if a single individual deciding not to eat meat would necessarily affect the broader demand.
Well, it does, just ever so slightly, right? So you'd be slightly decreasing animal
Because
suffering.
I assume
Um,
like the meat industry just produces a certain amount, whether or not a lot of products in the stores go to waste. No,
yeah, but if it's the
gets
case that you're
unsold.
right, but if it's the case that I don't know, over your lifetime, you eat a bunch of animal products, right?
Yes,
Uh,
I honestly
like
cannot. I
I'm not gonna
honestly
say you're
cannot
like a bad
say. I
person for
honestly
it.
would have to, I guess, look into it. I honestly cannot say if a single person would
Okay. Yeah, no, I would
what
definitely look
how
into
big
it.
an effect it would have. I would have really have to look
Mm,
into
well,
the matter. I
well,
get
yeah,
because you
the
say
effect
it
it
would
has
have the effect ever so slightly, but
maximized fertility.
I guess the question is how slightly, you
Keep
know?
in mind that I was just responding to the chatter,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. No,
It
no,
was like,
no, no. I'm not arguing.
Watch
I'm just
Mary
wondering.
Girl. I don't think you understand how supply and demand works. You need to take an economics 101 course because Jesus Christ, like that is like supply and demand is like the most basic. It's like really basic stuff. Like it's literally just like a oh yeah, when you increase demand by being a consumer, they have to increase supply in order to meet that demand, right? That is just how it works.
True, but I assume like if there's like a huge, gigantic, how should I put it, a gigantic industry, then I assume they go for the macro numbers. I assume like they take into account individuals falling out or sort of falling in.
Well, it's just going to be on the basis of how much is their
I
product selling,
assume
right?
like they leave themselves some room for we assume that maybe along the way a certain small amount of people will stop buying our product, but it's still pretty much feasible for us because we're a pretty big industry overall. I think
Yeah, but generally it's
to
going to be the case
as
that
they
in order
say,
to
to
maximize.
steelman the person from the chat, I think that's what they mean.
I don't think that's. They're saying that there's no relationship. There's none. You don't directly generate demand. It is mediated through other things. Okay, and what are those? Okay, and how do those other things mediate it? What do they determine it based off of? Is it perhaps the I don't know, like the extent to which a product is
Oh, I have two chats, by the way.
bought
I also
extent to
have
which.
my page, a White Forest page. Are you familiar with White Forest?
Yes, I am.
Yes,
You have a white horse page?
yes,
Oh damn,
lucyhaza.org/live. One person said there, remember sometimes demand is artificially created.
that's true. Let me go to lucyhaze.org.
Haza,
No, I'm not trying to donate. Wait, hold on.
do you want to donate or subscribe?
No, I'm broke.
As I'm
Otherwise,
trying to
I
earn
would.
funds to go to Ukraine again to do more interviews.
Website under this. So how do I? Where do I find
lucyhaza.org
it goes
slash
back to.
live. Just add slash live and should be.
Oh,
Yeah,
slash live. Oh, that's the one to click on. Okay. I clicked on the wrong one.
yeah.
Okay.
Recently interviewed a rescued child from the occupied territories in Ukraine.
How do you know if someone is a lefty? They say chicken tendies. True. Wait, that's so true though.
Thank you,
Is that
fake
what?
Alec Cal Parker. Someone donated in your name.
Yeah.
Fake Alec Cal Parker did. I donate in the name of the guest. Thank you.
Let's go.
Thank you. Have
W.
you ever played Stalker?
Ever played? No, I haven't.
Oh, you should. Should I debate you about having to play Stalker?
I don't feel like it. That's my proposition.
Why don't you feel like it? Are you a? It's racist, actually, not to play Stalker.
Well, how is it racist?
It's racist against Eastern Europeans, of course.
Yeah, but why? We're just begging the question, right?
It's because we put our hearts and soul. Well, not we Ukrainians, and you don't play it just based on the fact that it's from Eastern Europe. I can feel it in my soul.
What if I just don't really play games very often because I just don't have as much time as I used to?
Oh,
Also, fake
you don't play. Yeah, I know. I just
yeah,
saw it.
it says soccer is a terrible
I don't
game.
know
So
how
now I
could
have.
they. No, no. It's like my fake Cal Parker is my volunteer editor, and
Oh,
he says
nice.
that. So I cannot believe that my own volunteer editor would say such a thing against the greatest game ever.
Oh my god.
But you don't play many games. What games do you play when you have time?
Occasionally Minecraft, but I just don't have that much time anymore.
Damn.
Yeah.
Listen, I try to be busy, but I always have time for some gaming.
Usually
I
in my
try
free
to.
time, I just like either debate people or I
Like right now?
But at least that's recent. No, I wouldn't consider this debate.
See,
I just got back into debate.
oh, I told you, my debates turn into friendly conversations.
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
wouldn't consider this to be a debate. Like a debate would be like we strongly disagree on a position, and then we you know.
I strongly disagree with a position. I usually try to do an exploratory approach rather than I will destroy you in the
No, that's
marketplace.
fair. I do the same a lot of the time, depending on what the position is and how strong it is. First,
But then again, I
to
then I
be a
meet
dickhead.
people. Then I meet people like that one of from. I'm not sure if you saw, because the person apart from conscription also argued um, anti-men sexism in Ukraine.
Anti-men sexism. Okay.
Yeah, because Ukraine conscripts only men.
Yeah, I don't think it should be on the basis of gender or sex or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean
That's my position.
I said that yeah, sure, women should be also conscripted, but I can sort of understand why the government chose not to in this case.
I think that the conscription should be on the basis of whether or not you're fit to serve, not on the basis of gender. That's what I think.
True. True, true. But I
Okay, so
don't
we agree
think
on that.
like yeah, but then I don't think it's a uniquely Ukrainian problem.
Oh yeah, no, it's not unique to Ukraine by any means. No, it's like that like fucking everywhere.
Because I sort of stopped to think about it, then gave my answer, and the person was like, "You see how dishonest you are? That you hesitated and refused to admit
Yes.
that Ukraine is the bad guy."
Yeah, that's true. If you think about your answer, then
Like, gosh darn. And then, I don't know. Because I said
that
Ukraine
means
is
that
not
you're
special
just being
in this.
dishonest.
You
How
know, it's
dishonest?
just like Ukraine. It's not a uniquely Ukrainian thing to just conscript men. And the person said, "Oh yeah, well Finland and Israel conscript both." To which all I had to say is, "Well, they're the, you know, they're the exceptions, not the rule. Ukraine's not the
No, literally.
exception."
No.
And they called me dishonest and said that I just won't admit that Ukraine's the bad guy and agree to disagree, and they left the call.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So dude, that's like the weirdest, most roundabout defense of Russia I have ever heard.
I know. That I don't even. There's one topic. Okay, I will tell you this. There's one topic that's like almost a litmus test if someone of progressiveness, I guess. Even people that consider themselves fairly progressive can falter on this one. Are you ready? Are you ready for it?
Hmm.
What is your position on traveling communities?
On what? Traveling communities?
Yeah, Roma people, Irish travelers, and
I don't know enough about the
etc.
subject to have much of a stance on it.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I don't usually have a stance on something unless I know about it.
Okay, I mean that's a reasonable stance to have. That is a stance that more people should adopt.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people will have like really strong stances on shit that they know nothing about. Like a lot of the like anti-trans people I debate, it's like they don't know anything about the subject. Like they actually believe that like children are like there's like this epidemic of children getting bottom surgery or some shit. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah, although some countries sort of use bottom surgery as a mandatory policy to for sterilization of people, right? If you want gender care, then you need to do this. Does that make sense?
Yeah, which is obviously like wrong. Nobody
Yeah,
should be forced
yeah.
to do anything. I mean,
You
that's just like the
you
freedom of XYZ
you
position.
you, you cover trans issues, right? Regularly,
Oh yeah,
fairly.
that's like one of the main things I talk about.
So what is your, because I've had a pretty, let's say, at some point I became less in a streamer's chat. I became less polite. What is your view on? I think the person's name is Single. Jesse Single.
Jesse Single. I don't know. I mean, he's probably a pedophile. I don't know. That's
Do
my
you
view on
know?
him.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
Vaguely, I've seen like
Like the
some of the
person
shit he said,
who wrote the
and
whole
I think
article about a leading expert in the field being fired because of activists.
yeah, I think that Jesse Single is a pedophile. That's my position.
Like the whole clinic that sort of rejects the affirmative approach and even the uh, neutral observing approach, and the clinic that prefers telling children, well, maybe you're actually your natal gender, quote unquote.
Yeah, which is wrong, obviously.
Yeah,
The
of
clinic
course,
is wrong, though.
of course.
Yeah, so
But
you like Justice Single's gonna defend that.
a person who's like ahead of this sort of model was fired, and Single wrote a whole article,
Defending them.
yeah, saying that he was
Yeah, no,
unfairly
I am
fired.
100% certain that Jesse Single is a pedophile. That's my conclusion from that. I think
I
that he's a
see.
pedophile, and I think he should be castrated and never have children. And I think he belongs in the wood chipper. That's my position on Jesse Single. Yeah, I don't think anybody disagrees with that though. I think we all sort of collectively agree, that he's a pedophile because it's funny to call him one. So I think it maximizes utility, because any suffering he receives from being called a pedophile is superseded by the extent to which I think it's fucking hilarious. So I think we ought to call him a pedophile.
Well, my goodness. But yes,
Yeah.
I had a whole thing today about it, talk about it on a certain prison server, and they argued that it's a nuanced approach. Like we
No,
don't
it's not
really
nuanced.
we don't agree with this in any other medical setting. Like if you go to the doctor and say my arm hurts, the doctor's first task will not be to try
Be
to
like, okay,
disprove
but
that
does
you're
it
in
really
pain.
hurt?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Like, does it really hurt though? Like, are you sure it hurts? Are you sure it's not
yeah.
gonna go on away? Like, are you sure
And
it
after a
hurts?
period
How
of
do you know that it hurts?
yeah, after a
What if
period
you're
of
just like
yeah, then we can do the
what if you were
tests.
groomed into thinking it hurts?
Yeah, maybe it's just in your head. Have you considered it? Maybe we should wait and
Have you
see.
considered getting therapy to make the arm pain go away?
No, let's just let's not go to therapy. Let's just wait and see if you're really hurting for 5 days, then come back, and then we'll do some tests.
Hmm.
Yeah, let's make sure that it's actually real, your pain.
No, it's just like their arm is broken. They're like, yeah, but like, are you
Yeah, come
sure
back in
about that?
five
Like,
days.
I don't blame you.
Let's make sure. I think you're not in. I don't think it's broken. I think you're not in. I think you're
Yeah,
lying to me.
yeah,
You know,
exactly.
like we would not accept this
I
in
think it's a
any other
social
medical
contagion.
setting.
I think your arm being broken is a social contagion.
Like even with even like okay, let's even move on from the physical broken leg, etc. We don't accept that in any other uh, mental health issue setting.
Correct.
Like,
Like, oh, but like, are you really
are you really depressed? Are you really
depression?
sad? I don't think so.
Yeah, I think it's a social contagion.
Yeah,
I think, like, it's so dumb. Like,
like
we're
the
not gonna
only
medicate you.
trans healthcare seems to be this strange, well, and being gay, of course,
Yeah,
because that's basically conversion therapy. That's my argument.
no, I would agree.
Jack, don't do it. Ask what's a mental health. How would you answer the question? What's a mental health? Jack, don't do it.
What's a mental
I
health?
feel like I've
I'm so
seen Jack, don't do it before in this stream.
like, what's a mental health?
Yeah.
What do you mean a mental health? Like a
Well,
single mental
they're
health?
probably asking what's mental health, but in a sarcastic and witty way. So they added the A.
Very sarcastic and witty.
Yes.
I can feel the wittiness irradiating off of my computer screen or
There are
this
some
phone
people that
screen.
unironically think that, oh yeah,
Mental
it's
health is
this person's a MAGA supporter. I've earned a viewer that is a
about
MAGA
you.
supporter. I don't know how, but it happened.
Wait, people think that I'm a MAGA supporter?
No, this person that just wrote in the chat is a MAGA supporter, and they
Oh, okay.
became my
So they're just
viewer.
like not sentient then. Okay. So they're not really a person in chat. Like they're basically just like a bot, like a flesh bot basically. Like they have flesh, but like they're not like a sentient.
They're anti-American. I learned that recently because they dissed
Yeah. So like they're like a pea zombie.
Listen,
Are you familiar with like what a pea zombie is?
no.
Yeah. So like in philosophy, it basically describes like if there was like a person that's like not conscious or sentient, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Yeah. So they'd be like a pea
listen.
zombie, right?
They've
Against anything?
demonstrated to me that they're anti-American by dissing the best state in the United States,
Wait, which one did they diss?
Maryland.
Is Maryland the best state?
Of
I don't know
course,
about
I'm gonna persuade you that it is
that. Okay, why is Maryland the best state? Is that the most left
because
leaning?
it's called the United States in miniature, and it has the biggest amount of historical buildings in the country.
Yeah, but like, why do I care? What if I don't care
I
about
care.
historical buildings?
I'm a history nerd. course I
That's
care.
fair. That's fair. I'm not a history nerd.
And it has blue
I'm like a.
crabs, which are apparently very delicious.
Are there?
I heard so. And also, there's this amazing spice that a person from Florida sent me. It's called Old Bay.
Yeah, but why would I get blue crab? When I could just like get chicken tendies instead.
I guess.
Like chicken tendies are like objectively the best food in all of existence. That's my position.
I just,
I think
I just fry my chicken.
I think that I don't know. There's just something that hits different. It's like
I just fry it.
you
I've never
fry it.
understood the racist stereotype, by the way.
The what?
I never understood the racist stereotype in America, by the way,
Oh yeah.
against
No, it
black
doesn't make any
people.
sense.
The fried chicken
It's
and
like dumb.
watermelon. Because
Yeah,
those
but
are
it's like
the
those
two
foods are
things that I
good.
really
But see,
love.
everybody likes those foods. Like what? Like everyone likes that though. Like
Yeah,
everyone eats that. Like what are you talking
because
about?
it's good.
It's like, oh yeah, well, I bet you, as a black person, have objectively good taste in food. Oh wow, I'm so offended by that. What will I ever do upon this
Because
revelation?
the
Oh my
like,
god.
I don't know. The stereotype is, I don't know, that it's poor people's food or something. I'm not sure.
I have no idea. It doesn't make any sense.
Because fair enough, chicken is pretty cheap that you fry, but it, I mean, okay, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. It's really dumb.
Yeah, I like fried chicken. That's why I'm happy that Popeyes is in Poland. That's one good thing
Yeah,
about Poland. It actually opened, a Popeyes opened in Poland, in Warsaw.
that's cool.
Yeah, sometimes go there when people are generous with their donations.
Yay, that's fun.
But no, now I'm trying to get money for the Ukraine trip, and I'm trying to uh, get my bearings, to gather my bearings, and to write articles that anyone will like to or want to publish on
Yeah,
the based on the interviews that I've done. I've done quite a few at this point, mainly with one organization, the organization that rescues children who are either kidnapped to Russia to be Russified or from occupied territories. It's a pretty big thing that um, I focus on when I'm in Ukraine. Do you all season food in Poland? Yes, I think so.
I would assume so.
Yeah, I think so. Why? I can't. This person says that
Check
they're
out do it. All right. I wanna know what your thoughts on modal realism are. Ready, go. Come on.
who's?
No, I'm asking Jack. Don't do it. I want to know what his thoughts are on modal realism.
Ask them what they think of tariffs.
I want to know their thoughts on modal realism. I want to know if he's a modal realist. Come on, Jack. You got to tell me. Unless maybe the stream is like a little bit behind. I have no idea. I think it
Maybe.
was last time. So maybe it takes like a little bit of time for him to answer.
Is
I have
a
no
is
idea.
a is a huge creator compared to me. Do you have any advice for me on how to grow?
Yes, I looked at your channel and let me see. Definitely with like the thumbnails, like, there's definitely a little bit too much text. Sometimes it's like a little bit hard to tell what's going on. Like they look very busy.
Oh,
So like
too
that's
busy.
the
What
first
do you
critique
think
that
of
I have.
those where I add those little hand drawn elements?
I guess it depends. Like I think that like generally like if you look at my thumbnails, like you'll notice that it's like
Hold on,
usually
I'm
like
gonna
very
take a look now.
simple. Like you'll notice my thumbnails are like very simple and like straight to the point, and like
Right,
you can sort of tell what's going on.
right.
Um, and
Fake trans, the newest video.
yeah,
Oh,
basically I was reacting to a trans med.
what is? Oh, is that what you meant with trans people are their own roast? I had a big debate. Do you know food
Yeah, it's in
shops?
quotation marks. Yeah, that dude, food shops, the person that admitted to being a pedophile. Yeah, I forgot about her.
Yes, I was on her panel with a few people that are trans medicalist, and I was making. I made an argument because they kept saying, non-binary people, they're different from us, and they occupy our spaces, and they water down the meaning of being a trans woman, right? So I
Yeah, I think that
said
food shops is like one of the dumbest people in these.
I debated food shops once on the topic of
Yeah, me
genocide.
too. I debated her on utilitarianism, right?
Oh,
And long story short, she was gonna take the anti-utilitarian stance. Then, as
uh-huh.
soon as we actually start debating, she's like, "No, no, no. I actually agree with utilitarianism. I just disagree with your version of utilitarianism." I'm like,
Oh,
"Okay, so you concede your original position." She's like, "Yeah." So then
interesting.
we have a debate. over like the which form of utilitarian which form of utilitarianism is correct, right?
Right.
Basically, she would just like pick a random axiom out of a hat and just like assert it whenever it's convenient. It's actually fucking
Yeah.
crazy.
I debated one of my main topics, the genocide.
Oh my
But
god.
yeah, that's one of my main topics of discussion. But I on that panel, I sort of told them all these arguments that you've just made. You do realize that TERFs, cis women who are TERFs, make the exact same argument about trans women, right? That trans
You want
women
to know what's
invade.
funny about?
Yeah,
Want to know what's funny about turfs is that they sometimes they're like very clockable despite being cis women. It's like very weird.
I
It's
mean,
like
I
crazy
don't
how
tend
like
to. I'm not very quote unquote passing, so I'm not gonna judge.
no, I
But
just think it's funny because like it's like the people that are like ah we can always tell and it's like they look
right,
more masculine than me. It's like actually
yeah,
crazy. So it's like okay, can you always tell? Because you can
but
always tell that you clock yourself, right? Like you clock yourself because like
right.
I'm sorry, like
I mean,
your face structure is more masculine than
beauty
mine. It's almost like it's
standards,
not just on the basis of biological sex.
beauty standards. But so I said you do know that the same arguments are being used against you regularly, right? That you invade cis women's spaces, that you water down what it means to be a woman, that you're different, not the same, so you should be in a completely different category. And one of them responded by saying, "Oh, so you're making a Hitler drinks water argument?"
What?
Yeah, that is unironically what like one of them said to me.
That's such a dumb response. Dude, they can't, like, dude, some of these people just can't fucking engage, I swear to God.
And I stand by it. It's the exact same type of argumentation.
No, literally, it is. It's like, it's a one-to-one comparison. Like, they have to establish a symmetry breaker. They can just be like, oh, so you're mad that Hitler is in favor of
Yeah.
drinking water then? That's what that argument is
Yeah,
like. Like,
Hitler
no,
drinks water and a regular person drinks water. Therefore, a regular person is like Hitler. That's your argument.
yeah, no,
It's like,
literally. It's
oh,
like they
come
haven't
on.
established what the symmetry breaker is. Like, what?
Like, yes. So as you can imagine, my position is that non-binary people absolutely are under the umbrella of trans people. I don't see why not.
That's a good position to hold. Our group.
You know, if we assume, which I think we should, that being trans means that you don't identify with the gender that you were
Assigned at birth,
identified,
yep.
yeah,
Yep, we agree 100%.
and becomes like it becomes this problem of just because people come from this strange position of because a person's experience is not completely identical to mine, it means that we cannot be under the same umbrella or sort of coexist, if that makes sense.
Yeah, the problem with that line of argumentation is no one's experience is going to be the same as anybody else's experience. Like, that's
Yeah,
just the quality gap.
yeah, of course.
Like, it's
Of course.
literally impossible for anybody. Like, it's like, okay, so what is it like to be a woman? Well, what is it like to be anyone that's not yourself? Like, what are you talking
Right.
about?
Yeah, of course. And that the biggest irony is that they were arguing from the medicalist perspective, and I probably, because being from Poland and then being from the US, there's a not small probability that I probably uh, jumped through more hoops to receive my care.
Oh, yeah, probably. I didn't have to jump through many hoops. Because, like, I started a year and a half ago at 19. I was barely 19. And so
I had to go
just,
through quite a lot of hoops. I had to go through a whole battery of tests.
yeah, that sucks. How long you been on HRT for?
It's my second year, and I'm very old as well.
Oh, really?
I'm an elderly person. How old do I look?
I don't know. I can't tell. Like,
Yeah, shoot, shoot me.
hold on. Let me look at stream.
Yeah,
Well, it's like it's hard to tell.
yeah.
Like, you say you're old. Maybe like 30 then.
Oh gosh, nice. I'm 40.
Damn. Okay.
Do I look 40?
You do not look 40.
Actually, in just a few months, I'll be 41.
That's crazy. Yeah, you do not look 40. I'm gonna
No?
be real. No, not to me.
See, the
Part of it
HRT
could be
is.
like yeah, HRT de-ages you. It's crazy actually. It's actually wild what HRT does.
Yeah, it's nice. I love it. My hair
Mhm.
used to sort of be singing out, and it regrew on HRT.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Jack Don't Do It just said, what do you think about re-education? I'm convinced everything is AI outside of North America for our entertainment. I do not even think you are a real person. Well, I guess that's fair. That's a fair assumption, of course. Jesus. See? Do you have a MAGA viewer under your belt?
Do I have MAGA viewers? Maybe a few. But like usually they get bullied out of the community, so it's like I
Oh my
mean
god, Dr. Johns just called me Grandma Lucy. Thank you, Dr. Johns. Thank you.
Grandma Lucy is crazy.
At least say aunt or something nicer. Grandma? Yes. I'm trying to grow a bigger audience. So what is your
Really.
advice to Grandma Lucy?
Well, Grandma Lucy, if you'd like to grow a bigger audience, what I would recommend is maybe try streaming in shorts and see what happens. I don't know. It might give you more viewers, it might not. It definitely helps for me, but I don't know if it'll help for you. Do you know how to stream in shorts?
No.
Basically, you just have to make the aspect ratio like vertical. You just have to like flip it.
Oh,
That's it. Yep.
interesting.
Yeah.
I could
Yeah.
do
So if you
that in
make it like the
Ukraine, like go to a coffee shop and stream from my phone.
yeah, if you stream from your phone, then it would be something that shows up in shorts.
Mm,
I do it from my computer because it's like one of the main things I do
I'd be able
is
to
short streams.
show Ukraine while I do it.
Yeah.
Kiev, or even
Mm,
Warsaw for that matter. Probably most people don't know Warsaw that watch me. Do you know Warsaw?
yeah. I'm not too familiar. I don't know what it's like there.
Should come. Should come to Ukraine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have that much money.
Aren't you a huge streamer that has?
I'm not a huge streamer. I'm the sub count is inflated. All right. Like
You
I
you're
only have like a
you're
few plus
40 times
reveals.
bigger than me.
If we're counting sub count, yeah. But if you actually look at like video views or like even like even stream views are like a little bit misleading because it's like it shows up
Oh,
in shorts and like
what's your average
short
viewership?
subscribers that like maybe 100.
See, that's a lot more than me.
Yeah, but that's not like that's not enough to get rich off of.
Though I will admit that I have a small but very generous audience.
Yeah, me too. I
Oh,
get that. Yeah, my audience is quite generous sometimes.
so
Like I have
you're
a few
yeah.
donators that are like
Oh,
very consistent. Yeah.
maybe I should do more collaborations like this thing that's happening right now.
Yeah, maybe. I mainly do my own thing. I don't usually call into people's streams unless it's like a small streamer because then it's like fun.
What made you want to call into this?
I just saw that you were live. I discovered your channel today. I'm like, oh, okay. She's live. I wonder if I could call in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what are your impressions of Lucy Haze?
I have a pretty positive opinion so far.
Yeah, nice, nice.
Yeah.
Do my best. Oh
Let's
wait,
go.
Greater. Oh yeah, Greater Rain disappeared. Greater Rain disappeared. So yeah, and today I have like a few topics on Ukraine prepared. I have this topic
Yeah.
on the Azerbaijani plane being shot down by Russia over Chechnya, and how Russia, how the official story initially was that the plane was hit by a flock of birds, even though you could clearly see shrapnel holes
That's
in the
crazy.
photos of the plane.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
it just had an unfortunate run-in with the birds, woodpeckers.
Wow, that's such a wacky coincidence,
Yeah,
huh?
I know. All those holes are just woodpecker holes, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And that's one topic for today.
Oh
Another,
my
there's
god.
gonna be a topic about Viktor Orban and the Hungary person, and Fico, the Slovakia person, their attitude towards peace. There's gonna be topic
Yeah.
about recent Russian missile strikes on Ukraine.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a few topics. Oh, and Putin saying that Slovakia could host Russia-Ukraine peace talks. It's crazy out here.
What are your thoughts on Brianna Wu?
Oh, Brianna Wu, not very positive to be honest.
Me neither.
She
Dude,
roped
she's
in a lot of good people into progressive victory as well and screwed them over.
yeah.
That
Dude, what's funny is she did like she made a tweet where like she said some like fucking awful like trans bitch should actually I think it should be harder to get this necessary medical care type shit,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Anyone that disagrees with me with a large enough platform, I will debate. And I'm like, okay, fucking debate me. And then she dodged me. She was like,
Oh.
I only debate people that approach me in good faith. Yeah, okay. Or you just want to debate somebody that's like, I don't know, that you have like at least a chance at beating.
Wait,
I don't know if she
Brianna.
knows who I am,
Brianna Wu
but
claims to be Jewish. That's strange. But
Anna Wu is a fucking freak.
Brianna was pretty transphobic, actually.
She is.
I think my favorite tweet of hers is when she wrote, "Am I the only trans person with a room temperature IQ around here?" She made some points where she thought she was being smart about trans issues, and oh yeah, it was about some trans topic being pulled off a TV show or something. She was like, "It's great. It's a great move, the taking away the wokeness or whatever. Am I the only trans person that's room temperature IQ?"
Oh my god.
I'm like, I guess
Yes,
so.
yes, you
Yeah,
are.
I guess
Yeah, you
so.
are. You are. Trans people tend to be a lot smarter than you, Miss Brianna. Also, isn't it the case that like I remember hearing that like apparently she's gonna like lose her voice because of like like some sort of disease she has or some shit.
Oh,
Which is pretty cool. So now if she ever shows up on a panel, it's just gonna be like the Brianna Wu like gasping noises. It's gonna be like the
I mean, I'm not
dude.
really in
I
favor of
remember seeing a
people
compilation
having.
of Brianna Wu gasping noises at
I
a
did see
fucking
that,
President Sunday
but
stream.
I did. Oh, so
Well,
you watch President Sunday?
sometimes, occasionally, not
But
always.
I will say that.
But
Uh, I will say that I'm not a big fan of Brianna Wu. She has some
me
very
neither.
bigoted views on many things.
Yeah, Brianna Wu is one of the dumbest people.
Unfortunate, but with money,
Yeah,
I would. I consider myself a bit of an animator. I would give a lot to
yeah.
be given. Yeah, I draw animation, hand drawn animation.
Well, that's cool.
I would be pretty happy if I'd have the opportunity that Brianna Wu had, like to be able to start a whole animation studio, which basically
Wait,
would me just hiring a bunch of in-betweeners at this stage.
do you remember when Brianna Wu came out as trans? Like as if it wasn't the case that everybody already knew. Like she was
Right.
like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I'm trans. Yeah, we know. Like this is public knowledge. This isn't a
Right.
secret. We already knew that.
She does
You've
love
made it really
attention.
fucking obvious."
She does like attention. And oh yeah, and she keeps talking about Gamergate for some reason.
Yeah, because that was like the only time that she was actually relevant. Like
Was
outside
she
of like
even?
main
I'm not
political
even sure
speech,
if she was actually.
that was the most relevant she ever was. Like that's
Yeah,
like that was like the peak of her relevancy.
I
Like aside
guess,
from
but
that, like she's been pretty irrelevant.
that's sad.
It's like the only people that talk about her are like fucking President Sunday and like the fucking me every once in a while. Like nobody else really gives a fuck about her.
I'm pretty small, but a
Maybe
lot of creators know me, of me at
yeah,
least. That's a thing.
that's cool. I get that. Yeah, Brianna Wu, like I mean I guess Tipster might talk about Brianna Wu sometimes,
Tipster.
maybe.
Tipster
Yeah.
sometimes appears in this chat.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Yo, Tip, if you're watching this, what's up?
And also
I
sometimes
don't think
says
I
something
don't think
on
he's
the
watching
Discord.
right now. If he was watching right now, he probably would have said something because I'm on stream.
Yeah. He
Yeah,
sometimes
I didn't know that. I didn't know that Tipster showed up in your chat. That's cool.
yeah, sometimes shows up.
He
And is
showed
on
up in
the
my chat
Discord.
once. Yeah.
I think I've
Mm.
spoken to most of the streamers, political ones. At least once.
Yeah. Have you talked to Hassan?
No, I've not spoken to Hassan. Or Destiny
Vosh?
for that matter.
Have you talked to Vosh?
I have spoken to Vosh once. Because there
Huh.
was a whole thing at the end of 2022, beginning of 2023, where my mom was. Someone ran into my mom with an electric scooter. And she was.
Mm.
She had to go to the hospital. She had to have surgery. And President Sunday with Demon Mama and Aiko Rules did a, I think, I'm not sure if, was that 24 or a 12-hour, a long hour fundraiser for my mom for her rehab because after surgery you need rehab right away because otherwise it won't be good, you know?
Hmm.
And the free healthcare rehabilitation after surgery, we'd have to wait for 6 months. So we had to go private, but we couldn't afford private, so we had to do a fundraiser. And
Damn.
Vosh called in at the end of that long fundraiser, so that's where we spoke briefly.
That's cool.
So I guess his viewers helped out a lot with the fundraiser.
Well, damn.
That was a whole thing. And
Well,
actually,
that's cool.
thanks to that, we could afford the rehab for my mom, and thanks to that, she walks well now. Because if you don't,
Well, that's
certain things, if you just don't do these sort of things right away, then you have long-term repercussions. Like if you have surgery, and if you just don't start, trying to walk right away, have the rehabilitation, then your results will be much worse than you started months after, right?
yeah,
But yeah, that's. So I did speak to Vash briefly.
yeah. Well,
I
that's cool.
I can think of just a
I used to
few.
be
Yeah.
I used to be a Vosh fan until like the whole horse lolly folder came
Oh
out. Then
yeah,
I
the
was like,
folder thing. Yeah, that
yeah. Then I
was
was like,
uh,
yeah, I'm not so sure about that one, Chief. Yeah,
that was
no,
very
no thanks.
unfortunate. Yes. Also, there's been a
Yeah, I was.
whole thing with if you watch President Sunday even occasionally, then you're probably aware of the existence of a person called West Side Tyler.
Yep, I am.
Yes, and his whole thing with Demon Mama, etc.
Yep, I watched all of that go down.
Yes.
I was lurking in the shadows. I never covered it.
Yeah, I have not covered. I don't do much drama related stuff at all. I mainly do war related stuff.
Yeah, I do a lot of drama related stuff, but that wasn't one of the things I wanted to cover because I don't have any I don't have any personal beef with Tyler or anything. Like I don't dislike either streamer.
Sorry, can you repeat?
Yeah, like I didn't really want to cover it because like I don't have like aside from like me disagreeing with Tyler in terms of how he handled the Demon Mama thing, I don't really
Yeah.
have any other issues with him, so I didn't really want to I don't really want to like shit on him because like other people are already doing that, so it's like okay, there's not really a point.
And none of them raid you. That's right, none of them. Well, no, that's not exactly true. Lonerbox has raided me a few times. See, that's what I'm saying. I debated Lonerbox, but because my debates are friendly conversations, he raided me a few times after.
Well, that's nice. Yeah, generally if I debate like a content creator, like I'll usually be pretty cordial.
Well, what content creators do you know? Political content creators.
I debated, goddamn it, Malcolm the other day. It was kind of a boring ass debate though. I'm not gonna lie.
What was it about?
AGP,
The what?
AGP, autogonophilia.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah,
What was their position?
yeah. Their position is that it's real and that it's a useful description of a certain archetype of trans people. And I was taking the
What, huh?
negative position, which is that no, it's not useful.
How is
Like
it
if what you're
useful?
describing is
Apart from giving
basically
leeway to bigots,
basically
of
he
course.
argued that basically his argument is well you see it's like a specific type of autosexuality. It's like okay, just say autosexuality parentheses trans. That's all you have to do. You just autosexuality parentheses trans. It's really easy.
Is the whole.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it's used in anti-trans argumentation a lot. The whole autogenophilia thing.
Yeah, no, it is. He acknowledges that it is, but his position is well you see. Well, it is true that the I have to add like 50 qualifying statements in order to make it clear that what I mean when I say AGP is completely different from what literally everybody else means when they say the term.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to change the way I use language. It's like okay, all right. How would I say, bro? I don't know what to tell you if you just don't care.
Who was the biggest creator that you've debated on a thing?
Hunter Avalon.
Oh, okay. What did you debate him on?
I think it was xenogender slash neo pronouns, if I'm not
Oh,
mistaken.
what was his?
So I
Did you?
basically I just went in there being like, yeah, so can you describe like what the objective or measurable harm is caused by people being xenogender?
Mm-hmm.
And he wasn't able to he was that basically He like tried like appealing to the optics. I destroyed that argument. It was a long time ago.
See, no, gender is
It was
like
when,
the litmus test akin to Roma people, rather than the
yeah.
gender topics.
Yeah, I always like to debate gender topics just because it's like, I don't know, the most relevant to me and the most
Because I
interesting.
feel like
But that
even
was before I was out as
people,
trans. What?
oh, I feel like people that consider themselves progressive can be completely iffy on the gender topic.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's not like a super important topic to me, but like, I don't know. If somebody has like a wrong position, like,
It's been a
I will be
while
like,
since I've heard of the topic, to be quite honest. It feels
yeah,
like
that's
it
fair.
fell to the wayside. People used to argue about it a lot more.
Yeah, that's true.
About the Caesar pronouns. People used to argue about that a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah. I took like the stance against it, and then I moved more left, and then I was like, yeah, but like, does this cause like an objective or measurable harm? The answer, of course, being no. So like, why do I care? Well, I don't.
Right,
I just don't care. If people want to identify this way, like, why? Like, just like, why would I give a shit?
right. Yeah, people should be allowed there to be themselves.
Yeah, for sure.
Alrighty.
All
Well,
right. Well, you
any
do have other topics you want to talk about.
yeah,
You
any
said.
plans for tonight? I might also play video games apart from the serious politics.
I'm
Stream.
also gonna do my own stream.
Oh, what's it
Yeah,
gonna be about?
it's really gonna be just like me, just chatting, just talking with my audience.
I do that sometimes. I mean, I do that a lot. But I
Yeah.
also try to do some political topics that I can forage into segments.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm like too lazy to make segments a lot of the time. Like the main thing I focus on is live streaming. But
Oh, I do live streaming and then I turn it into segments. And then
yeah, that makes sense.
I take the revenue and I go to Ukraine.
That's pretty base.
So,
Anyways, it was good talking to you.
thank you. Nice meeting you.
Yeah, nice meeting you too. All right, have a good one.
Yeah, I'll see you.
See you.
Bye bye. And just like that, we had a spontaneous call in. What did you What did you think? What do you think? What is your opinion on the, you know?